worker wants to fight professionally, and I'm gonna pay you to train him.
Competition.
But what I taught you is not for competition.
How can I test myself if I don't compete with others?
Even if you decide to compete, promise me that you won't use the style that I taught you.
There's got to be some connection here. Nobody else fights like that. Oh, you got to find him.
Your instructor, is he here? This guy.
These guys are looking for Mr. Davis.
Who are they?
Hitmen. What do you do to make these guys want to kill you?
I took down their boss and most of his organization. They've been wanting me dead for years.
This man is an elite soldier, and we need this taken care of.
He must be some kind of black Rambo.
Drop the gun or kill your friend.
Let him go and nobody else gets hurt. Don't hold your gun sideways.
Just a little rusty. Seriously, you're gonna have to start calling you Rambo. No. Wait, I'm sorry.
What's up, everybody? This is Fred Richani. We have right here on the line a very special guest, a legendary guest. He is an actor, a martial artist, a writer, a director, a producer. He's pretty much done it all in the industry, and he stars in the film that he wrote himself coming out December 16th, As Good as Dead, the brand new badass action flick. We're talking to the legendary Michael Jai White. Michael, thank you so much for the time. How's everything going?
Great.
Compared to your past work with this film in terms of not just the plot and everything else, but the distribution process and creating it, how's it different from the past when you first started?
Well, I mean, when I first started, I wasn't I wasn't writing and directing and doing all that stuff. So honestly, kind of when I started this whole thing, when I was a kid, I was putting my own films together, and so it's kind of like I've come full circle. So this feels great for me. I feel like I'm in my purpose. This movie is close to me. Like you mentioned, I wrote it, and it's pretty deep to me because my brother inspired this. I kind of wrote the character based on my brother, who, on a whim, took his motorcycle from left Florida and just went on a journey and ended up in Mexico. Fell in love with Mexico, fell in love with a woman in Mexico, started a family there, and retired there. Yeah, so I've always had a great love for the Latino community. I mean, family-oriented, just salt of the earth people, and I always wanted to do a movie, based around that, and so I had this movie in my head and wrote it and did it.
You all did a fantastic job. And I'm curious just about the casting process as well, because you've got some veteran actors in the mix, but you also got some really young, talented actors who held their own alongside you. So did you have anybody in mind when you were writing this film, or did you kind of discover who were the right people during the whole casting process?
No, I mean, that was nerve-wracking because, I mean, I'm writing somebody who I didn't know, existed till we saw Luca. I saw him and I'm like, oh my God, it blew my mind. Nobody could be more perfect for me. It's like it was just I don't know. It's just dumb luck, and he's just perfect to me.
No, he was certainly awesome. And of course, when you write your own stuff, when you star in your own stuff, you want to find the right director. Sometimes you direct yourself. Sometimes you tap into somebody from the outside. So, what was the whole process in finding the right director to maintain your vision?
Yeah, I mean, I knew one person that I really wanted to tap for this, and that was Frazier. I know he actually reminded me of my brother. My brother and he, like, both from the United States, African American men who kind of love the culture, and like Frazier, my brother was also a musician. and they like I said, they always reminded me of each other. And I always told Frazier about that. And my brother, I mean, my intention when I first wrote it was that I was going to speak almost half in Spanish, and my brother was going to be my dialect coach. He was going to be my assistant and dialect coach. But sadly, I lost my brother to COVID roughly a month before we started filming. So that's why it's kind of a bittersweet thing. And I took my brother's spirit with me in doing that movie and wanted to really make sure I do him honor.
Well, God bless. I'm so sorry to hear that. And yeah, I mean, no, I think you did. It was a heck of a film that, again, you wrote kind of sort of in his honor to begin with and everything else. I mean, when all that happened, I don't want to pry too much. Did you ever have any intention of saying, okay, I'm going to put this on the shelf for now? Or did you say, okay, you know what? As bad as all this I'm going through right now, I got to keep going.
No, I mean, I know my brother would have wanted me to do that without a doubt. And, I know he'd be proud that I'm using his name in the movie. So, it's weird because my brother was the natural entertainer of the family. And it trips me out that he wasn't the actor, because this guy was just like, the guy could light up a room, like just, he's just like, he has that kind of throwback, like super entertainer kind of vibe to him. Yeah. So it forever will be a connection, and it connects him to the rest of the world. So I feel like that's the best way to honor him.
I love that, and you're honoring your brother. Of course, you're a very honorable man. What full disclosure? You and I are also involved in kind of some of the similar nonprofit organizations. We've both attended Master Alan Goldberg's Action Martial Arts Magazine Hall of Honors event. Boing, we're kicking it. Done some work for them. Can you talk about a little bit just about your involvement with Alan Goldberg and some of the great work that you guys have done, not just promoting anti-bullying, but of course, the power of martial arts? Well,
the great thing is Master Alan Goldberg has a lot of influence. He throws the most successful, biggest martial art event in the country. But he's a friend. I mean, I look at him as Alan. And that's the great thing about it. He's really, when it comes down to it, like large part of me going is to be with him and other people who I've connected with in this industry and see what we can do to make things better for other people.
He's certainly done that. You certainly have as well. Before we let you go, two big questions I want to ask you. First things first, as somebody who has pretty much done it all in the industry, who, as you mentioned, continues to inspire others, what's the best piece of advice you give for success?
Well, just stay consistent, and always be open to learning. I'm so turned on about learning. So it's like, I think if you're always learning, you're always, going up, no matter what, so, stay inspired, learn all you can.
Excellent. I appreciate that. So gracious with your time. One more question. We'll get you at another high note. Why should people watch As Good as Dead?
Well, I think it's a good movie. I think it's about the human condition. It's got action and everything, but one of the marks of anything I do, I always want to make sure that if you took the action out of it, it'd still be a good movie. I love the cultural statements that are made, and I mean, of course, I'm biased. I wrote it, but I have a deep love for my Latino community, and there's not many vehicles, like action vehicles, that fuse the culture and action together. And this is something that was always in my heart that I wanted to do. So I think people will be quite entertained, and I think it's when it comes down to it, even though it's an action movie, it's got some warmth to it.
Definitely. Well said. Well, Michael, it was an honor to chat with you today. Really enjoyed the film. I think people will definitely want to check it out December 16th, VOD and in select theaters. Michael, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.